A really outstanding forward as well. Pavelski's a heart and soul guy. I think he's a Hall of Famer for me. And now you're seeing, I think, this next group come in with the Stars, and they also get Jamie Benn back for Game 6 after the 2-game suspension. So a lot to like with the way the Stars are playing. They're now on home ice. I think there's a very good chance we see a 7th game in this series.
Hey, JP, turning our attention to the Major League Baseball season, here we are now, many games in. Most teams play just about 50 games or so, maybe more than that, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. When you're thinking about the young players, you know, everybody's familiar with, you know, an Aaron Judge at this point, or a Manny Machado, guys who have been around the game for a while, nearing or over 30 years of age. But rookies or second-year players who are starting to pop, what are some of the names of the young guys starting to make their names known in this league now that we have a little bit larger of a sample size here in 2023?
Sure, that's a great question. One name I'm going to go with that maybe is not getting the attention he deserves, Geraldo Perdomo of the Arizona Diamondbacks, a team that I think is playing better and better. You look at his numbers. He has an OPS up above 900. He is a switch-hitting shortstop, which is a very, very rare player profile to begin with, and is one of the big energy drivers of the Arizona Diamondbacks. So to all the fans out there who are looking for that under-the-radar guy to pick for their fantasy team, or someone who maybe they want to become a fan of, Geraldo Perdomo is, I think, one of the bright young stars of the game. And, Rich, he also has one of the very best nicknames in professional baseball. I must ask you this question now. Do you watch Ted Lasso?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
So you're the one guy. I'm in. Guy in the whole, in all of North America who's not yet watched the show. At any rate, you're that guy. So Geraldo Perdomo has one of the great nicknames in baseball, which is Sam. Sam, because he has the same positivity, geniality. He's the heart and soul of the team in the way that Sam Obisanya is the heart and soul of AFC Richmond and Ted Lasso. So, if you have not yet watched the Diamondbacks this year, watch Geraldo Perdomo. And if you have not yet watched Ted Lasso, it's okay. We can still be friends. I'm willing to grant you this grace as a great friend. And I would suggest you watch that. It is, of course, the second best reason to subscribe to Apple TV after, of course, Friday Night Baseball, which is there every weekend. So how about that?
There you go. There's a feel-good story in baseball today. This is near and dear to me personally, JP. I've known Trace Thompson since he was 13 years old.
Wow.
His father and I were working together, obviously, in radio for many years. But the very first year we worked together, we were in Detroit for the NBA Finals. And he flew out his two youngest sons, Trace, who was 13, Clay, who was 14. The idea we were going to take the boys to a Tigers game. Michael bailed on his own sons. He asked me to take him to the game. And so I've known Trace forever. He had a brief run with the Padres a year ago, then got picked up by the Dodgers, had a nice run, and then started this season with literally the greatest opening game for any player in the Major League history. 3 home runs and 8 RBIs. Since then, it's been a nightmare. He was on an 0 for 39 streak, longest for a non-pitcher in Dodgers history in 114 years, closing in on that infamous 0 for 54 run of Chris Davis of the Orioles. And today in Tampa, he's 3 for 3 with a home run. What is that? Well, I mean, what does it say about Dave Roberts as a manager? Because he says he likes his work ethic, he likes a lot of things, but bottom line is you got to do something. Not only was he over 39, he was striking out more than half the time.
Right.
But what does that say about, I don't know, maybe just the nature of the game that allows someone like that, you know, who's well into his 30s, you know, maybe just it's over for him, and getting that opportunity, and finally today breaking out of it.
I think it's a special day for the Thompson family. Obviously, it's the early morning game. And by the way, Steve, just for those that aren't aware of the full scoreline at the moment, it's 10-10 midway through, I guess, to use Rich's terminology, midway through the third quarter right now. 10-10 score.
Well, by the way, Josh Fleming is still pitching for he started this game.
Oh, my
He's
God.
given up 12 hits, 10 runs, and he's still in the game.
Yeah, there's a whole lot. We could probably do the entire show about this game alone, a 10-10 game between, by the way, two teams that we could expect to meet in the World Series this year, depending on how things play out. Of course, they just played in the World Series 3 years ago. But to your point, Dave Roberts, to me, is one of the great managers of baseball, one of the great people in baseball. I'll tell you a quick story. We were in St. Louis 2 weeks ago, and we had a game in St. Louis, Dodgers-Cardinals. We had a pre-scheduled interview with Dave Roberts for me after the third inning, and that was right after Julio Urias had given up 4 home runs in that inning. And so we've got this previously scheduled interview, and I said to myself, you know, you don't want to put a manager in a tough spot. This pitcher's just given up 4 homers. What do we do? And I got to my place, and Dave took a moment to speak to the coaching staff, and he came right up the steps, standing right next to me. I said, do you still want to go? He said, yeah, I'm all set. And then he gave me a great answer about what he thought was going on with Urias. That is class personified. It's about how you act when adversity hits, and when, you know, if he had gracefully bowed out, no one would have known about it. It wouldn't have been a big deal. I would have totally understood, but he still did the interview. And that's, in those moments, character is revealed. And you want to know why Trace Thompson and Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman and Trey Turner in the past who've been on the Dodgers, all these superstars love playing for Dave Roberts, why Clayton Kershaw respects him the way he does. That's just one glimpse into the measure of the man.
JP, always awesome chatting with you, especially on a Sunday. So here's the marching orders. I'll start watching Ted Lasso. You start brushing up on your cricket.
All right, that sounds good. I could definitely work on that. Cricket, you know, do we have the World Cup going on right now? Cricket?
They don't have a tab for that on ESPN.com.
First of all, understand, Rich is in San Diego. The MLS is coming to San Diego. He's going to be living and breathing the soccer world.
San Diego FC, I'm buying my scarf.
You should. Soccer's an amazing sport, Rich. It'll pull you in. I've been loving lately just watching a lot of soccer games in the morning and the weekend. It is the perfect, I'll say this, it is the perfect family sport to follow because it's over in the morning and then you got your whole day. It's great.
Yeah, as long as I don't have to play it. I'm a big, any sport I can play now, holding a beer or nachos, like cornhole or bowling or darts. Those are the sports I'll play now, but I'll watch any sport. Soccer I can watch. Yeah.
Well, one last quick thing. I was at a bookstore yesterday. I love going to bookstores. My family, my daughters love to read, so that's a big family thing for us. We go to the bookstore. There were 6 books in a single display about pickleball. There was a pickleball section in the bookstore. You want to know why it's the fastest growing sport in America? There was a pickleball section of books at the bookstore. Now that is evidence of significant growth, my friend.
Yeah, we were